What's up, YouTube? I got a fresh new video for you today, and I want to talk to you about coatings. We're going to discuss a couple of different kinds, and perhaps maybe this video will help you make a choice if you plan on sending in some parts for coatings or having your gun Cerakoted, that kind of thing. Before I begin, I want to apologize to, I know I don't have many subscribers, but the people who do actually take the time to watch any of my videos. I watched some of the last ones I did, and they were just so fucking dry. Jesus Christ. So I actually deleted the last one because it was that unwatchable. It sounded like Ben fucking Stein reading War and Peace. It was awful. But the reason for that being, I had a kid a couple of months ago, so I've had zero energy, like none. For any parents out there, I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. Kids just suck the energy right out of you. But anyway, I'm digressing here. A couple of different coatings that I want to discuss with you. First is going to be your titanium nitrides, and then also we're going to talk about gas nitriding, and then lastly I'm going to talk about Cerakoting with you. There's a couple of different options, and as technology advances, there's a whole lot of new options out there. As a matter of fact, I just had one done recently that I'm going to show you. It's pretty fucking cool. So anyway, first we're going to talk to you about titanium nitride, which is, you can see the parts done in gold here, with the exception of the trigger and this right here, which is actually Cerakote. But titanium nitride is actually it's more of a ceramic. Intuitively, the name would make you think that it is like a metal or something like that that's plated on there, but that's not how it's done. Titanium nitride coatings and the different variations of it are done through what's called physical vapor deposition. And if you don't know what that is, basically what they do is they take your parts, which most of it's going to be steel. You can't do it to like aluminum and stuff like that, but they put it in a semi-vacuum chamber. And what they do is they hang it on these racks, and the racks spin and stuff like that. And it's they circulate a high nitrogen rich gas. Excuse me, a lot of different terminology here, so you have to excuse me if I misspeak. But what they do is they hang it on these racks, and it starts to swirl around basically in this semi-vacuum, and it does have nitrogen gas in it. And all around the chamber they have these what are called targets, and they arc. The targets themselves are made of titanium nitride, which is like a ceramic type that I was just telling you about. And there's different variations of them. You have like titanium nitride, aluminum titanium nitride, certain oxides, stuff like that. But more or less what they do is they run an arc through it, and the arc releases particles of it, and it basically escapes in, and it lands on, it deposits onto the gun. But before it does that, it also combines with the nitride gas that's inside the chamber, and it leaves about a 2 or 3 micron thin film on top of the coating, which makes the surface properties incredibly durable, like really fucking durable. Now, some are more durable than others, but for the purposes of firearms, it's really not all that important. It's just more or less a matter of color. So your typical ones, though, the most used is going to be titanium nitride. This was done by titaniumgun.com is who did the parts on this one. You can see right there, it leaves a nice little gold color to it. The big advantage of having titanium nitride, aside from the fact that it is probably one of the most durable coatings that there is, if not the most durable coating there is that the layer of it is really, really thin. So if you have a 1911 or a high-end 1911 or a 2011 like this STI right here, you're not having to worry about like tolerances and stuff like that. If you were, unlike Cerakote, which leaves a pretty thick layer, you know that your parts are going to perform exactly the same as prior to you having them coated. They're just going to be a lot stronger. Also, versus standard nitriding, it holds up a lot better to wear. If you look at Glock barrels and stuff like that, right here on the front, matter of fact, hang on one second. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Get one of my other Glocks here. This right here is standard nitride, as you can see, just from the barrel locking in. That's a standard nitride coating where it really starts to mar really, really bad. So it definitely holds up a lot better to wear and tear. You can get this done probably just off the top of my head, titanium gun, that's specifically all that they do is nitriding gun parts. And also Brazen Firearms, they also have their own nitriding work done. I don't know if they subcontract it out or not really sure, but basically that's one of the best coatings there is out there. I try to do as many of my functioning gun parts in titanium nitride as I can. Cerakote is mainly good for like the outer surfaces, you know, with the exception of, like I say, I don't if it's a high-end 1911 or 2011 or any sort of gun that has very tight tolerances, then I will not do Cerakote on it. But Cerakote has its own purpose. Just like I was telling you though, the chemical mixture or whatever it is that they use, like the rose gold actually is a aluminum titanium nitride, which is actually a little bit stronger. And what that looks like is this right here. I don't know if you can see it, but it kind of has like a purplish hue to it. And it's really nice. So I decided I actually got this one done at Brazen Firearms, but holds up really well. It's nice and lubricious. One thing to note though, that whenever you do have a barrel like this, like a Glock or something like that, you know what, let me pull this out for you real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. The finish on this barrel right here is not quite as slick as it is on like a standard nitride that you'll get from your factory, from your Glock. So you may want to take like just take a Dremel with flits and whatnot, and maybe a little buffing wheel, and just hit that feed ramp right there. That way you know that you're not going to have any problems whenever you're trying to load the ammunition, and the nose of that bullet won't hang up. Because I noticed that anytime I've ever had some work done, titanium nitride work done, that it would kind of hang up just because it's not quite as slick. But just hit it real quick with the buffing wheel and everything will be good to go after that. But it does give off a nice little pretty color, and it is more durable than standard nitride. Which brings me to my next point, gas nitriding, which is what you see with Glock, a lot of your AR-15 barrels, stuff like that. Those are all gas nitrided barrels. And what they do is they more or less the same. They do have different versions of it. You have like a salt bath nitriding, which as the name denotes, it is used like it has like a salt chemical mixture in it. More or less the one common one though is plasma nitriding. And what they do is they take the barrel parts and whatnot, and they put it in a vacuum chamber, but they run a current through the barrel and causes it to arc, and it's just a gas, like a nitride heavy gas. There's no deposition or anything like that. But what it does is the arc through the actual barrel components, or whatever component it is that you're trying to nitride. It ionizes the surrounding gas and causes what's called vapor diffusion and nitrogen diffusion, and that nitrogen starts to build up inside the outer surface of the part, which makes it incredibly strong, but it also gives it a nice black finish to it. So even if you have like a stainless steel and you nitride it, it's still going to come out black. So anyway, that's pretty much all there is to it as far as nitride coating. Next, I want to talk about Cerakoting. This one here I just had done. This is your SIG X5. I actually had that done, I don't even know what the hell color this is. Fuck. Ew. Anyway, there's a million different kinds of Cerakote colors, but it's more or less a second generation of Duracoat. What they do is they just spray it on just like a spray paint, and they bake it, and it leaves a nice, very, very durable surface. This is not near as durable as like nitriding or titanium nitriding, but it is pretty durable in its own right for what its uses for. It does hold up really well to holster wear. This one I just had done. And also there's another one that is similar to Cerakote, but it's not actually Cerakote. This one right here is called Gun Candy, which is if you want to go check out their website, I'll drop a link in the description. But Gun Candy is a really, really nice new Cerakote that they come out with, but it's not so much a Cerakote as it is like because what they do is they take a clear Cerakote and they add just a pigment to it. Like this one actually had to be sprayed black first, and then the the gun candy coating was added to it. And I don't know if you can see it really well, but it's called Black Cherry. Also had my shotgun done, but this one was done in Stingray, and it has that chameleon look to it. It's like purple and a little bit of green, but mostly blue. And it is badass, especially in the sunlight. So anyway, that was one of my latest projects. I'm gonna do a subgun 9mm build that I'm doing soon, that I'm gonna have done in a similar coating to that, but it's gonna be more of a green chameleon, actual chameleon color to it. Anyway, it holds up just like standard Cerakote does. But yeah, if you can have your entire slide and stuff like that done in titanium nitride, but the color, there's not as many choices in colors. There's like your standard gold, and then there's also your rose gold, and I think they have one other aluminum oxide that's like almost like a silver look to it. So if you have yours done in that particular choice, it's going to be more of like a chrome look to it. I guess it's the best way I can describe it, but it's going to be like a light chrome look to it. Cool nonetheless. Anyways, if you're curious as far as kind of how they rank, obviously PVD coating is going to be right there at the tippy top. Then you're going to have your standard gas nitriding, which is your standard Glock finish, things like that. And then below that is going to be Cerakote. I wouldn't recommend doing Cerakote on any kind of parts that are where you have metal on metal contact, like your barrel. That's just ridiculous, because it'll look good for all of 5 seconds, and then whenever that slide starts rubbing against that barrel, it's going to strip that Cerakote right off of it. Not to mention you may have some functionality problems if you do decide to Cerakote any internal parts. Is that always the case? Not really. You could probably get away with it if you have like a Colt 1911 or something like that, but on something like a 2011 or any sort of custom gun, or a Kimber or whatever, that where the parts are really, really tight, would not recommend doing that, because there is a significantly more, it does change the tolerances quite a bit, so if you do, you may wind up finding yourself doing some filing and stuff like that. But anyway, that's really all I got. If you do have any questions or anything like that as far as how the coatings have held up, I mean, some of these guns I just had done, so not really enough time has passed just yet. I'm happy so far, and they've done exceptionally well thus far, but just let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I'd be more than happy to get back to you. Anyways, thanks for watching, and again, for you guys who do watch these videos on occasion, I apologize for the last few ones. They were really fucking dry, and I watched it myself. I was like, Jesus Christ, this is awful. So forgive me, everything's a learning experience. But again, thanks for watching.